Habits and discipline are important factors for our well being. Our habits can impact our physical and mental health, our learning abilities, our progress, our behaviors, and so on. Our mind and body have natural ability to adapt to circumstances and form habits. When we have a habit of doing things in certain ways, those ways can seem natural to us. The concept of momentum and inertia applies to habits, meaning it is relatively easier to continue the habits that we already have. Habits can be compulsive at times and even become obsessions and addictions. Habits can play significant role in how we behave, how we treat others, and even how we let others treat us. We can have tendency to learn habits from others. We can have habit of being judgmental, biased, and unhappy. So our habits really matters. The benefit of good habits adds up over time. On the other hand, the harmful effects of bad habits also adds up over time. Let us review some concepts and techniques for adopting and maintaining good habits. The initial hump. Changing habits can be very challenging. It is good to be aware of the concept of initial hump. The most difficult phase of changing habit is the initial phase of getting started and overcoming the initial hump. Once we overcome the initial hump, our urge to follow the old habit will significantly diminish. It is good to have the awareness that the initial hump is a relatively short period of time and eventually we will have the reward and benefits of the changed habits. Taking a pause. When trying to stop bad habit, we need to remember to take a pause when we have the urge to continue the activities that we are trying to give up. We can ask ourselves, can we pause for next 1 second or even 1 millisecond? Take deep breaths, focus on breathing. In the meantime, remind ourselves about the harm that we get from the bad habit and think of the overall benefit that we will have if we can stop that habit. Being fearful can be a good motivation. Continue the pause moment by moment. Taking small steps at a time. When trying to start a new habit, we may have to overcome resistance to start new activity. So we have to find ways to motivate ourselves to get started. Taking small steps at a time is a good way. When we have hesitations, we can ask ourselves, can we simply just get up from a sitting position to start with? Can we just take one step? We do not have to immediately plan for long duration of the activity. Just encourage ourselves to take one small step and even accept that that is enough for the day. Once we take the first step, we may find that it is significantly easier to take the next step. As the saying goes, a job started is a job half done. Complete abstinence where possible. We may have strong tendency to have certain types of harmful habits. Even if we get over those habits, there can be tendency to easily start the harmful habits again. If we can identify such habits and if possible, it is good to completely abstain from activities related to those habits. If complete abstinence is not possible, we need to regularly train our mind to maintain awareness and limit such activities. There can be cases where just trying the activity once can escalate the urge to continue more of the harmful activity. So, complete abstinence may be easier than setting limits on the amount of such activities. Regular assessment and maintenance. We need to have awareness that even after we adopt good habits, we need to keep pushing our limits, keep overcoming resistance, and keep adapting to changing environments. There can be tendencies to fall back to the old habits. We may not even realize that we are following harmful habits. So, regular self assessment is necessary to identify and realize what habits we need to stop and what new habits we need to adopt. Keep reminding ourselves of the overall benefits and harm that habits can do to us. So, those were some concepts and techniques of managing our habits. Take a moment to assess your own habits and see what habits you need to change for your own well being.